Yes, people, it's Fred Stones, back at you with another one. Today, I want to talk about the recent trend that we're seeing in knife crime and the senseless violence that these kids are acting out. Do you know, I have to talk about it because over the weekend, we saw another 2 kids died. It's made the headline, one in East London and another one in Greater Manchester. And everyone's talking about it right now. I can't help but think that these, especially the girl in East London, I can't help but think that that has caused such a wave because she's a white girl. Because there's been other people that's died this weekend, but it hasn't made the news or the tabloid because, again, it seems like it's nothing nowadays. We're so desensitized to violence. We see this all the time on Facebook, Instagram, on our phone. People are sharing it. We are in an age where violence is nothing. These kids see violence as nothing. It's just an action, just an act to them. They haven't fathomed the mistakes or how big the actions they are making are. Do you know what I'm saying? Or how they could be throwing their life away or even throwing someone else's life away. And I think this is a big thing we need to wake up to. And I think some of these kids are part of a generation of where, about 10 years ago, when the government was still giving out council houses, when a lot of girls and women, young women from inner cities were having babies just to get flats. And I'm not the only one who knows of this story. There's plenty of other people that knows of these stories. And I think the kids of these generation are stabbing each other and doing all these crazy things. They are victims of those circumstances, if you understand what I mean. Some of these kids are of that generation of women that were just having kids and just, you know, and I can't say all single mothers that are like that. Please do not misunderstand me, because there's a lot of good single mothers out there. There's a lot of good, hard-working single mothers, and the kids come out to be excellent people in the community. But there's also, that I've seen for myself, a lot of single mothers who have had kids too early and feel like they've missed out on their lives and do want to live that life now. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, therefore, their kids are suffering. And these are the kids that we see, they get no love at home. They go to school, they might be disruptive at school because they haven't had the kind of attention they should be getting at home. They'll be disruptive at school. Then they put them in their PRU, in the pupil referral units at school. Once they go in the pupil referral units, they're almost, again, abandoned from home, abandoned from school. Society has abandoned them. There's no youth club or anything for these kids. So guess where they end up? In the hands of the drug dealers. So when they're on the council flats in their estates and they got nothing to do, some of them are even bunking school and their parents don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? So when they're out of school and they're just hanging around and these drug dealers take them in and they're like, yeah, they give them a little bit of money to hold some drugs, weapons or guns or something like that. These kids, that's some sort of love to them. That's a show of affection to them. So they take this because they never had love before. They take this and misinterpret it. Because these other guys using these kids, they're only using them for their benefits and their gains. It wasn't because they love these kids and they want to help them out. It was never about that. There's a saying in the streets saying the streets don't love nobody. These guys do not love these kids. They're just using them and turning their brain. And another thing I want to talk about is that all these kids nowadays, they smoke a lot of drugs. In the music they listen to, it's fashionable, it's trendy for people to be taking drugs, smoking marijuana, taking the Americans call it lean, and it's a trend that's filtered over here. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are taking these drugs that these Americans are taking, these mollies, ecstasies, and all these kind of crazy drugs. And I've seen it. These kids taking these drugs are getting younger and younger. And as for the marijuana that the kids are smoking, because that's the most commonly used drug, back when I was young and people were smoking, the marijuana level, the strength was different. The strength that these kids are smoking nowadays, I can't help but think it's messing with their brain. They're not thinking functionally. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't want to drag on too much with these videos, but I feel like a lot of these kids have been neglected in society, in school. There's no role models for them to look up to. Their parents are a bit stretched themselves. Either they got a job because they got to pay the bills or something of such sort, and they get left out alone. And when these people get left out alone, the drug dealers use them. And these drug dealers, they have a talent for spotting neglected kids. And once they spot this, that's it. It's like a shark smelling blood. They just use them and throw them away, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? So we as a people, we need to stand up and take responsibility and look after these kids, because at the end of the day, like, we might think all these stabbings are very far removed from us, we see it on TV or on the news, but one day, I'm telling you, it could come very close to you, it can come close to home, and then that's when people want to take it serious. I say we start taking it serious from now, because it's a very serious epidemic. It's a serious epidemic. And I don't like the fact that the news are rallying the mayor and all the people in the government together because of this one girl, when there's so many kids dying all the time. But is it because they're not white? Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this as like a race baiting or nothing like that. It's nothing of such sort. But this is a common narrative that I see in the government. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even like the descriptions they use when a black boy dies, they'll use the picture of, like, I don't know, a picture of maybe when he was with his friends, or a picture that doesn't look like a family-friendly picture. But when a white boy dies, they'll use a nice picture of them, maybe with their family, a nice little cuddly dog or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's not even the point. The point is that we need to stop this epidemic of knife crime, and we need to get hold of these kids before it's too late, or before it hits us. And then, you know, but it's Fred Stones. Let me know what you think, people. Subscribe, share, comment. I'm still trying to build this thing. I'll be back here tomorrow with another topic. It's your boy.